Good morning and welcome to the JMCSS podcast for the district. I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information for Jackson-Madison County Schools. Today we are sharing detailed information concerning the JMCSS Career Fair. This is a great opportunity for educators and professionals from all over West Tennessee to get information about the exciting career options within the Jackson-Madison County school system. We'll be joined by Rakia McLean, Director of Human Capital, Talent Acquisition, and Terrence Morris, new Teacher Support Coordinator for JMCSS. They'll give us some insight into the critical task our professionals provide for the school system as we educate nearly 13,000 students on 26 campuses, soon to be 27. We'll get into that in a moment. Here's a quick reminder. For the district, the JMCSS podcast is a production of the Jackson-Madison County School System in partnership with Forever Communications. You can listen to this episode on demand on Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts for a moment until that transitions to YouTube Music, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Mr. McLean, Ms. Morris, welcome to For the District.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So typically my first question for all my guests is, did you always know you wanted to work in education? But I'm going to cheat for a moment, if you'll allow me. Ms. Morris, I want to talk about your father, who is a bit of a trailblazer for folks who keep up with education or even politics in Jackson-Madison County. Before we dive into the career fair, while you're here, tell us about your father.
My dad, Mr. Clarence Boone, native of Jackson, Tennessee, began his 39-year educational career in Bolivar, Tennessee.
And I wanted you to say that because there will be people who hear the show who will know, oh, I remember Principal Boone. So we're interviewing his daughter. So go ahead, continue.
He was a teacher. He was a math teacher. Math did not come to my DNA by him. However, math and algebra 1 and 2, Bolivar Central High School, Northside High School. He even went back to Northside and became principal at Northside. So yes, I guess DNA, education is definitely in my DNA.
One of the interesting things about Principal Boone, he was at the time, I guess this was back in the 80s possibly?
70s.
70s and 80s?
Yes.
He was actually a county commissioner in addition to being an educator. And so I think today people may be surprised to know that was a dynamic then, but your father was doing that all those many years ago.
All those years ago, he was forging education and stepping out and promoting it by being a county commissioner. Absolutely.
Thank you for allowing me to take the conversation there for a moment. Now we'll go back. So today, Ms. Morris, you work for the school system. You were an educator for quite a while. Now you're at the district level. Tell us what you do in your role as the new Teacher Support Coordinator.
This is my second year as new Teacher Support Coordinator. I retired, but I was not ready to step fully away from education after 36 years. So this role allows me to step in and support new teachers, provide real-time, actionable support, helping them refine their best instructional practices as well as manage a classroom, which can be quite challenging. So I'm committed to helping new teachers focus on student achievement.
Now, before they ever get to you, Ms. Morris, they got to go through our HR department and our talent acquisition. That's where Mr. McLean comes in, our Director of Human Capital, Talent Acquisition. Mr. McLean, tell us what you do in your role with the district.
So what I do is I go out and I try to recruit the best possible teachers for Jackson-Madison County Schools.
And you've been with the district a year and a half, 2 years?
Been with the district 2 years, been in the central office for a year.
And let me go back. I'm going to ask you this question first, Mr. McLean, and then Ms. Morris, you can tackle this question. You work in education today,
Absolutely.
but did you always know you wanted to work in education?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
It was not on my radar. I did my undergrad work is business. So I got a degree in business administration. So how I ended up in the education arena, I started doing finance work for 2 day schools in Memphis. So I started out in early childhood, moved into pre-K administration, then transitioned into from kindergarten through 12th grade. I did teaching, coordinator of programs, director of programs, and then transitioned into higher ed. Moved into higher ed, did that for 12 years, was a professor, became a dean, and a campus director. Transitioned from there, moved to Tennessee Department of Ed, worked there, and then moved over to the U.S. Department of Ed on the Westat division. And so with the financial background that I had doing the financial work for the 2 early childhood centers, just got intrigued in education. And so I just went back, was always working on my Master's of Business, and so I just went back and worked on my Master's of Ed. And so that's how the educational side came into play.
So before you tackle that question, Ms. Morris, I think this is important when you think about the upcoming career fair for the school system. Mr. McClain, certainly there's opportunity for folks who may be considering a career change.
Absolutely.
Is that always, I guess, a possibility there?
Always a possibility. We're hiring for any position that's school-based, as far as teaching, counselors,
Educational
assistants. And so we're just looking for the best.
Let me go ahead and throw out that date for the JMCSS Career Fair. It'll take place on Tuesday, March 19th at Liberty Technology High School. Of course, there's more information right now on our website, jmcss.org. Before we continue with the career fair, I do want to ask you, Ms. Morris, since you had so many years in the school system, folks may wonder, and your father was an educator, so did you know coming out of high school that you were going to work in education?
Oh, absolutely not. In fact, I have to let you know my mother is a former educator. She taught English high school level 38 years. So again, in my DNA, always had that love of English and writing and words. Oh, I love words. I was going to law school.
Okay.
Law school deserved my gift of gab.
Okay.
But, you know, God had other plans. And I am so thankful for that plan that he steered me in that direction. I love education. I love educating minds, and did it for 38 years. Middle school English and high school English. I loved it.
You also got into administration?
I did. I did 9 years in administration at the middle school level, high school level, and ended with the elementary level. So I've seen it all. I feel like I have.
Awesome.
But there's so much more to give and do.
Terrence Moores is our new teacher support coordinator, and Rakia McClain is our director of human capital talent acquisition. They are here to share details about the JMCSS Career Fair. It's coming up on Tuesday, March 19th at Liberty Technology High School. Now, you can register for this career fair right now if you go to jmcss.org. That's jmcss.org. You'll see the career fair registration among our news items. You can also go to jmcss.org/jobs to go ahead and check out the many openings and apply for some of those roles. It is just about time for a timeout. I am getting the signal from our producer, so we're going to go to commercial. But when we come back, Ms. Morris and Mr. McClain will share details of the JMCSS Career Fair that's coming up on March 19th. You are listening to For the District, the JMCSS podcast on JJ 97.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Jackson-Madison County Schools and Forever Communications want you to leap up for literacy. Community partners like Lieutenant Rochelle Staten are increasing literacy across the community by reading 20 minutes every day.
I called. Mr. Pig, are you in? Get out of here, wolf.
Visit jmcss.org to hear the rest of the book and to discover ways students, individuals, and families can increase literacy across the community. Welcome back to For the District, the JMCSS podcast on JJ 97.7 FM. Today, we're talking about the upcoming career fair for Jackson-Madison County Schools. It's going to take place on Tuesday, March 19th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Liberty Technology High School. So we're talking about employment opportunities for administrators, teachers, counselors, and educational assistants. Ricklea McLean is the Director of Human Capital, Talent Acquisition, and Terrence Moores is the new Teacher Support Coordinator for JMCSS. They both join us this morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So we're talking about the JMCSS Career Fair, and of course, Jackson is the hub city. So as we go out and we interview different teachers during our school spotlights, just the other day, I met a teacher who is from Parsons. We have some teachers who are from Gibson County, some teachers who are from Hardeman County. Of course, the majority of our teachers are right here from the hub city. But Jackson being the hub city, a lot of folks from around the region are attracted to the Jackson-Madison County Schools. I think one of those reasons is competitive pay. If you would, Mr. McLean, kind of talk about that. And we know how the pay has increased for teachers, particularly in the school system under Superintendent Dr. Marlon King. But, there's never been a better time to choose Jackson-Madison County Schools. And I know you have many of the numbers to back that up.
Absolutely. So what I want to talk about is I want to talk about our hard to staff subjects.
Okay.
So which consist of speech, foreign language, special education, math, and science. And so with those subjects comes a bonus.
Really?
Right, absolutely. So with our SPED classroom teachers,
Special education,
yes, there is a $10,000 bonus that you could receive. And with our speech teachers, there's a $5,000 bonus. With middle school math, there's a $4,500 bonus. And with the high school math and science, it's a $7,500 bonus. So we definitely have good bonuses and competitive pay. So we would love for you guys to come out and be a part of this system.
Ms. Morris, when you hear us say there's never been a better time to choose JMCSS, with your history in the district, I know you have context to back that up. When people say there's never been a better time to choose and to join JMCSS, when you think about the incentivized employee health initiative, the wellness with We Care, when you think about bonuses and the superintendent being very intentional in raising that level for a starting teacher salary. Really, before the conversation got started in Nashville, the superintendent made sure we kind of moved the needle there. When you think about that in context, is it true there's never been a better time to choose JMCSS?
There has never been a better time to join Jackson-Madison County School System. And I think I have a double perspective.
Go ahead.
In that I have been an educator in the system, as well as a parent of all three of my children have been through the Jackson-Madison County School System, and they received an education that has enabled them to go and become productive citizens. And then I have a senior. And so this is...
Shout out to Madison Academic
Shout
Soccer,
out to
state
Madison
champions.
Academic. But yes, he's the last one, and all of them have received an education that is beyond, and they've received all that they've needed to be productive citizens. And so new teachers come with, they have trends, and
That's
they
right.
have new things and new vibes to bring to our system, and we need you. We need them.
And Ms. Morris, when you think about your position, a position dedicated to supporting new teachers, can you kind of talk about what that process looks like? There may be someone who's ready to graduate in college here in May, and they're hearing this interview. They're hearing Mr. McLean talk about bonuses. They're hearing about the Employee Wellness Initiative. To kind of talk about that new teacher support, what that looks like, and why that's important.
New teacher support is very important, and it is beyond my role.
Okay.
Yes, I will come to your school and check on you and be with you and mentor you and coach you. but also new teachers have in their school buildings, they will have learning coaches, mentors, instructional coaches. So all of the support is there for them to become an effective teacher, and that's who we want in front of our children. They deserve that. So please choose us. Come to Jackson-Madison County School System.
So we're telling you about the JMCSS Career Fair. It's coming up on Tuesday, March 19th. Tuesday, March 19th, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Liberty Technology High School. So, Mr. McLean, specifically for this career fair, we're looking for roles in administration, teachers, counselors, educational assistants. What do they need to do prior to this career fair on March 19th?
They would need to go to the website, the JMCSS website, and register. And then once you've registered, then you will have an opportunity to send your resume in bring your resume with you. And then for our virtual career fair, which will be held on March the 27th, you will send your resume in to the email address, which is hr@jmcss.org.
And so, Ms. Morris, thinking about there'll be a couple of different candidates.
Yes.
You're going to see candidates who are getting ready to graduate from college.
Yes.
You're going to see candidates who are currently teaching in other districts who, again, have heard the numbers and want to see what JMCSS has to offer. Who are some of the people from the school level that they're going to talk to? Will principals be there? Who will they have an opportunity to meet and
Yes.
speak with?
On March 19th from 3 to 6 at Liberty. All of our 26 schools will be spotlighted.
Okay.
Each school has a setup of just all the memorabilia and things that are specific to their school. It is something to see. It is a showcase for sure. Principals will be there. Assistant principals, instructional coaches may very well be there. So please bring your resume. Principals will be conducting on-site interviews, and you don't want to miss that.
So the opportunity to potentially talk to your next boss if
Absolutely.
you're looking to join the school system. So
Yes.
we're talking about administrators, teachers, professional school counselors,
Yes.
educational assistants, and when you really think about, nearly 13,000 students,
Right.
it really takes a team on that campus to get that done.
Yes, it does.
Go to jmcss.org. jmcss.org. You'll see the registration link on our homepage. It's one of the top news items. Also, if you're interested in checking out some of the jobs that are currently open, you can go to jmcss.org/jobs. And then if you have questions you may have for Mr. McLean or Ms. Morris or our HR team, you can always send in an email, hr@jmcss.org. Or, you can check us out on Let's Talk. The Let's Talk platform has been a very simple way and streamlined for our parents and our stakeholders, even our employees, to start conversations with whether it be administrators or department heads at the district level. You can always use our Let's Talk platform. But if you're interested in participating in the JMCSS Career Fair, we do want to encourage you to go ahead and register. And again, Mr. McLean, when you talk about those hard-to-staff positions, those positions come with an incentive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you definitely need to come out and speak with the principals, and they will definitely let you know which hard-to-staff class that they need to be filled.
We'll have more information on the JMCSS Career Fair in a moment. First, we want to say congratulations to our Teachers of the Year. The Teacher of the Year award winners were announced this week. You probably saw that in the Superintendent Chronicle on Wednesday. Andrew Jackson's Daisha Surratt was Teacher of the Year for the pre-K through 4th grade level for JMCSS. Ann Tompkins of East Elementary was Teacher of the Year for the 5th grade through 8th grade. And Dana Helton of JCM Early College High, Teacher of the Year for our high school levels. And we do want to encourage you to stay tuned, as one of these educators will be selected to represent JMCSS at the district level. Earlier this week, we were out at Andrew Jackson and spoke with Deja Sherratt. She's Teacher of the Year for the pre-K through fourth grade band district-wide. She had some comments for those young professionals who may be thinking about getting into the role of teacher.
I think one thing that led me to education was remembering all of the really awesome educators that I had when I was in school. And I think just reflecting on that and thinking about how you could be that person for somebody else is an awesome thing. And also, of course, it doesn't have to just be like my forte is first grade, but you could do all kinds of things. Like if you have a love for science or social studies, you could teach, different upper grades. Or if you like the little kids, there's so many things that you can do in education and how you can make a difference. And I think that would be a really awesome thing to be a part of. So I hope this upcoming class does want to, participate in education. There's so many different classrooms that are doing like transformations and doing things to get the kids excited for learning. I told my kids the other day, I really have to mom, I'm like, guess what? We're gonna do a report on animals. And nobody in my class was like, we're gonna have to write. They're like, yeah. And it was so exciting. And I'm like, I just got them pumped up to write a 2-page paper in first grade. I did my job. So just, the engagement, trying to keep the kids, involved is a big thing.
I want to thank Ms. Sherratt for those comments. You're listening to For the District, the JMCSS podcast. When we get back, we'll have more information about the upcoming career fair that's going to take place on March 19th at Liberty Technology High School. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more information on For the District, the JMCSS podcast. Jackson Madison County Schools and Forever Communications want you to leap up for literacy. Community partners like Miss Tennessee volunteer Jada Brown are increasing literacy across the community by reading 20 minutes every day.
I am reading The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle.
Visit jmcss.org to hear the rest of the book and to discover ways students, individuals, and families can increase literacy across the community. Welcome back to For the District, the Jackson Madison County School System podcast on JJ 97.7 FM. This morning, we're talking about the upcoming career fair. The JMCSS Career Fair is coming up on Tuesday, March 19th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. The Director of Human Capital and Talent Acquisition, Rakia McLean, is here, along with our new Teacher Support Coordinator, Terrence Morris. Thank you again for hanging out with us this morning. A couple of things we need to tell folks. Go to jmcss.org. Go ahead and register for the career fair.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You can do that now.
Any words about why it's worth registering before you just show up?
Well, we would like to have some information about you before you show up. Obviously, if you do show up, we will have someone there on site that will be able to help you register, but we would love for you to register before arriving.
And I think also maybe give the principals and some of our department heads a heads up about the talent pool that is out there. In addition to registering for the career fair, they can also go to jmcss.org/jobs. So, Mr. McLean, when they go to that website, jmcss.org/jobs, there are many jobs that are currently posted there. But let's say that maybe I'm looking for an administrator's role, and let's just say that role is not currently posted. Does that mean I don't need to come to the career fair?
No. Absolutely, we want you to come. So when you do come, when you go on the site and you don't see a position that you're looking for, just come to the career fair with your resume in hand, and you still will be able to be serviced by someone there, and then we can definitely get you on the right track.
Certainly, we want to let you know to take advantage of the JMCSS Career Fair. Go ahead and take these steps on the front end to allow many of our employees in the Human Capital Office to become acquainted with you and your details to share with the individual schools. Ms. Morris, we talked about new teacher support. There is a platform in place for teachers who are coming out of college, teachers who may be transitioning from another district. If you would, just speak to that, about that embedded support system for the new teachers.
A question I am always asked of new teachers, especially those entering teaching on the front end. This is not their second career. One of their questions is always, how much support will I receive? That is the number one question. Please know that as a new educator, you will receive lots of support, not only from me as I come into your building, but also within your building. Your principal will make sure you have a mentor. There will be instructional coaches, learning coaches, your colleagues, your seasoned colleagues will also serve as support to you. You are not alone. You will not be on an island.
Mr. McClain, I know there are certain positions that are hard to staff, and those positions offer bonuses.
Absolutely.
If you would, kind of run down those positions for us, because there may be someone in the community that speaks a second language and, never really thought about education, or someone who has a background in special education or things of that nature. If you would, run down those hard to staff positions and then those associated bonuses.
Okay, so again, the hard to staff positions are for speech, foreign language, special education, we have math, and we have science. So again, for our special education teachers, that bonus is $10,000. For our speech teachers, that bonus is $5,000. Middle school math, that bonus is $4,500. And for high school math and science, that bonus is $7,500.
And Ms. Morris, I think you can speak to this, the importance if they're interested in joining the district, to go ahead getting in the system and getting some of that longevity on their resume and the record, because as Superintendent Dr. King brought in his IEP squared, or that individualized employee investment plan, and the idea or the fact now that employees receive these bonuses at the beginning of the school year as a reward for sticking with the district. When you hear there's never been a better time to choose us, whether you think about the bonuses Mr. McClain's speaking about, or the employee bonuses that are specific to longevity in the Jackson-Madison County school system, certainly several reasons for folks to choose us.
Yes, longevity pay is definitely one of the reasons to come to Jackson-Madison County school system. Longevity pay, consecutive years. You will be rewarded for those consecutive years. And just think, consecutive years of being able to influence and impact a child's life, teaching your discipline, that's huge gains for our children in the district.
Terrence Morris is a longtime educator in the district, teacher, administrator. She's now new teacher support coordinator for JMCSS. Rakia McClain is the Director of Human Capital and Talent Acquisition for JMCSS. Ms. Morris, we kind of joked at the beginning of the show in terms of, did you always know you wanted to work in education, and kind of finding your calling. There may be some folks out there who are still trying to find their calling, and maybe education is something they've always thought about. Can you kind of speak to, and we talked about the money. We've talked about the money. Can you talk about some of the other rewards of being in education?
I know that there are some people out there who you played school. Either you were the teacher, or your siblings became your students. If you want to influence and make an impact on a child's life, become a teacher. It is nothing like it. It's nothing more rewarding than that, to see those light bulb moments. But not just teachers. We're talking educational assistants, counselors, bus drivers, cafeteria, custodial staff. Every piece you are important to some child's life. So come to Jackson Madison County School System.
And I was telling you during the commercial break, growing up in South Jackson, I had the same bus driver from kindergarten to 12th grade. It was Frida Oakley.
That's a wow.
Thinking about, no matter how good the day is or how bad the day was, always having a positive start to my day and a positive end to the day because of a bus driver. And so I think that speaks to the fact, Mr. McLean, that when you teach nearly 13,000 students, there are a lot of opportunities, whether it's food service or transportation or in the classroom. You think about coaching, tons of opportunities for folks in West Tennessee, if they're considering JMCSS, several reasons to come on and register.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we will have a career fair for our bus drivers and our cafeteria staff. We will have a separate career fair for you guys on April the 8th and April the 10th. April the 8th will be at Northside, and April the 10th would be at Southside, and it's going to be from 3 to 5 at both locations.
Give those time once again, and we want to allow folks. Maybe you want to write this down because the career fair on March 19th will be specifically for when you think about folks who are in the school building, like your administrators, your teachers, your school counselors, your educational assistants.
Yes.
That career fair will take place on March 19th. Mr. McLean was telling us about another career fair that will be for our support staff coming up later in the school year. Tell us that date again.
That date is April the 8th. That will be at Northside. And April the 10th, which would be at Southside. And at both of those dates, it will be from 3 to 6, I believe. I think I said 3 to 5, but I believe it's 3 to 6 on both days.
Regardless, we want to encourage you to go to our website, jmcss.org. jmcss.org. You'll see a link there for our first career fair for March 19th. And again, we're talking about administrators, teachers, professional school counselors, educational assistants. Go ahead, check out the Jackson Madison County School System. Mr. McLean and Ms. Morris have laid out many reasons for folks to consider JMCSS. So go ahead and start the process now. Last question for you, Mr. McLean. There may be folks out there who, I don't know, maybe work in insurance or work in business, and they're thinking, you know what? Weekends off sounds nice. Holidays off sound nice. And for some of the reasons Ms. Morris talked about, the ability to impact the community in a positive manner, helping raise the next generation of leaders as an educator. There may be folks out there who are thinking about a career change. Is there a map in place? Is there a path in place for those people to, one, kind of investigate what their options are, and then two, start that process?
Well, absolutely. It's always a process when you're going into education. So what you like to do, if you like to change professions, definitely seek out what you're wanting to teach. Then you want to find a accredited school so that you can get into school, so that you can take the proper courses that you will need in order to be certified to teach those courses.
So we do want to encourage you, check out the JMCSS Career Fair on March 19th. It's taking place at Liberty Technology High School. The registration link is located on our homepage, jmcss.org. Ms. Morris, thank you again for being here.
Thank
you for your
having us.
years-long dedication to our school system. Tell your father hello when you see him. Former principal, former county commissioner, Principal Boone. Do say hello for him. And Mr. McLean, we want to thank you for joining the school system, and
thank you
for the work you're doing, acquiring talent for our 26 campuses, soon to be 27, when the Melissa STEM Innovation Center comes online in August. Thank you again for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You've been listening to For the District. It's the podcast for the Jackson-Madison County School System. You can check out this episode and previous episodes on Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you check out your favorite podcasts. We hope you have an excellent Sunday, a great week, and we'll see you next time.